Good evening, everyone. My name is Teresa Chen. I'm the DIA, Friends of Asian Arts and Culture board member and the president of a Michigan Taiwanese American organizations to celebrate Bunong's music and culture connections to diverse Polynesian culture. A variety of music and films events are free and open to the public. For the music of Bunong centers around a form known as Pasibutbut, a ritualistic prayer for the millet harvest. Pasi means harmonious sharing, and Bubu is mutual support. In this international panel discussion, we invite film director Chih-Lin Yang, Mr. Chih-Lin Tamu, Bunun Chief and General Manager of Bunong Culture Association, and Ms. Saline Sukuman. I'm trying to do my best. Bunong docent and music director from Taiwan, and Professor Daniel Birchok, professor in anthropology at the University of Michigan-Flint, to talk about Bunong music, history, and culture. Director Yang, can you tell us about yourself?
Okay. I have been experienced every kind of job in filmmaking and film and video making job and business, such as like producer assistant, line producer, script writer, and director. I complete my graduate education in art school in Georgia, Savannah. The school is SCAD, Savannah College of Arts and Design. So far my career was focused on TV commercials and documentaries. So you are going to see two of my documentary work, which is called Sing It and Singing Plus. Another movie named Listen Before You Sing is my first feature film portfolio. Okay, so that's I think it's a very simple description about myself.
Thank you, Director Yang. Director Yang also have won a Golden Harvest Award with his first documentary film, Sing It. And recently, we also learned that his new film, Listen Before You Sing, received nominations for the Golden Horse Award, which is the highest award in Taiwan history for the best original music composer. So, that's a great thing to know. For Chih-Lin, I also wanted to ask you, how do you become interested in Bunong music and culture?
That's a really long story. 14 years ago, I was a volunteer documentary director with Principal Ma, who organized a children choir. This children choir is called the Vox Nativa Children Choir. I joined them to Thailand tour. They have a tournament in Thailand. At that time, I talked about this choir with Principal Ma. I know that's the way I know what's the difference between the usual children choir and Vox Nativa children choir, because Vox Nativa children choir is not a choir to perform in front of in the public. It's an education group. Why is it is an education group? Because if you want to join this choir, you just have two conditions. The first of all, you have to come to the practice on time. The second one is you have to do your homework. So the voice is not a requirement. I think the good voice is not a requirement to join this choir. when you join the choir, the principal Ma want these kids to learn patience, concentration, and self-discipline. How to say that? Because this choir, the children attend this choir is from 8 years old to 14 years old. So some of them are good, quick learners. Some of them are slower learner. So you have to be patient because you have to help each other. The quick learner must help a slower learner to catch up everyone, so they can sing together. The other thing is slower learner. They have to be patient to wait slower learner to catch up them so they can sing it together. The other thing is concentration, because Principal Ma is a sports teacher and a valuable coach. So he didn't really read the step, or how to say the sheet music. He didn't really can read the note on the stage. So he need to lead his kids how to sing in Bunun by self-presentation. He needs to demonstrate the singing, then the kids follow him. The other thing is Western musical theory cannot fit the Bunun's music every time. So he need to do it he need to teach his kids in the traditional Bunun's way. So you have to concentrate every singing from Principal Ma. The other thing is that if you join the choir, this kid must to have managing himself not to eat the icy food, not to eat the fried food, not to eat the spicy food. Imagine that if you ask your children not to eat ice cream or fried chicken, I think that would be a horrible discussion between you and your kids. But these kids have to do that. Why they have to do that? Because in the junior high school, there's Xingyi County where is the Principal Ma's choir located. It's a really big county. It's 5 times bigger than Taipei City, but they just have 2 junior high school there. So 40% of these kids have to live in the dorm when they are in the junior high school. 90% of these kids have to live in the dorm in high school. So they have to learn how to discipline themselves in case of, to face the really high high tension about their student life. So they have to learn self-discipline in their elementary school. I mean, things 6 to 13 years old, they have to focus on that. So that's why this Vox Nativa Children Choir is an education group, it's not a performing group. Every week they just have 4 hours to practice their singing, and another 4 hours they have to take extra class after school in English. Another 4 hours they have to take class about mathematics. So it's all about education, because patience, concentration, and self-discipline are very important parts in the future of your life.
Well, thank you very much, Director Yang. Now, Dan, can you tell us about your background and research interest in indigenous culture?
Yes, thank you so much, Teresa. And I just want to begin by saying how honored I am to be a part of this panel, to have been invited to be a part of this panel. I'm a cultural anthropologist and historian of Southeast Asian societies. And in particular, I study religion and religious culture in Indonesia, which is a region that not only neighbors Taiwan, but has deep historical ties to the region, including its indigenous cultures and the deep history. But more broadly, I'm interested in part in how cultural practices and cultural representations, like the ones we're going to look at tonight, the Bunun performance traditions, are part of broader social and political contexts, how those social and political contexts affect things like their ability to continue on in time, so questions of cultural preservation, and then also how that's tied to questions of self-determination on the part of groups like the Bunun. So again, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to learning as much as I am to sort of offering my observations, and it really is an honor to be here.
So do I. Chih-Lin，你可不可以稍微介绍一下你自己？
OK， 大家好，其实我是一个泰雅族的原住民。那因为我跟闪妮结婚已经30几年了，我在布农族的社会也待了这么久，那也因为闪妮的关系，我参与了布农的文化，那参与Pasibutbut的表演也大概有20几年了，所以经过我的参与，渐渐的越来越喜欢布农族的音乐。那也在协会里面担任负责联络的一个重要的跟对外的窗口，所以我真的在这个社会里面真的是非常喜欢跟我们所有的布农族人在一起。OK。
好，Thank you， Chih-Lin。Sunny， 可不可以稍微介绍一下您自己？
大家好
我是音乐总监，然后兼这个节目的解说。我叫Chih-Lin Yang。我们致力于在推广我们自己布农族的音乐文化，我们也鼓励更多的年轻人能参与传承的工作。所以作为一个布农族人，我想这个就是我们的使命。谢谢。
是，Daniel, you have anything to share with us, or let me get back to Sunny and Chih-Lin about. We all know that Pasibutbut is a totem of Bunong music. It is really a symbolic song and has a lot of spiritual significance to the Bunong tribes. And I want to check with Sunny and Chih-Lin and see how they feel about it. Chih-Lin， 你可不可以跟我们分享一下您对 Pasibutbut 的看法？Sunny 可以补充。
OK， 我们Pasibutbut是一个在布农族在小米种植前必须要唱的一首祭歌。那在种植小米之前部落的耆老会召集8到12个人的布农族的勇士们，他们在部落里面是备受尊重，而且没有犯过这1年来没有犯过大的错误，会请他们到祭司家的外面的广场围成一圈一起来唱这首Pasibutbut，就是因为围成一圈在背后手拉着手。象征着和谐跟团结。那唱完这首歌，我们过去是大概都唱6圈，就是6遍。那每一圈就代表了一个月份。那种植小米也差不多是大概140天到180天，也大概是6个月左右。那唱了6遍就是刚好小米成长的时间。我们唱完最后一圈的时候，就会整个族人会带到祭祀的家屋里面，看着家屋的大梁， 然后就把这首歌唱到最高音，让上天许愿这首歌，让我们今年的小米种植会大丰收。这个歌就是有这样子的意义。
其实就是在唱这个Pasibutbut的时候，每一个人他必须要非常专注，然后用虔诚的心、敬畏的心来唱这首歌，因为这首歌只能唱一次。那这首歌唱的好与不好，跟我们布农族整个年度的小米丰收都有直接的关系。所以这首祭歌唱到最高亢的时候，也是最和谐的时候，布农族人深信上天有听到我们这样的声音，所以他会将这样的一个福分带给我们整个部落。所以这首祭歌对布农族来说是非常非常重要的一首祭歌。OK。
Okay. Daniel, I see that you have some questions for them.
I do. I can ask a question, and my question is to Chih-Lin and Sunny. In talking to you about your work over the last several weeks, as we've been preparing and watching some of the films and other materials that are going to be part of the next few weeks, the celebration of Bunun music and culture, I've noticed that you talk about your work as cultural preservation. And whenever we think of things in that way, that implies that the traditions, whether it's music or culture or language, is somehow under threat or in danger of going away. So can you talk a little bit more about that, about how and why Bunun music and culture is in need of preservation? What are the threats to it? And how have you worked to overcome them?
Chih-Lin, 他想要问您，Daniel 的问你，就是说关于这个方面，您有没有什么特别的在文化保存上，有没有碰到一些威胁，还有您怎么去就是处理这一方面的事情，请说。
其实这首歌呢，尤其是Pasibutbut，我们的协会。传承这个布农族的音乐除了Pasibutbut，当然还有一些古调跟记忆的歌曲啦。那当然Pasibutbut这首歌是非常特别跟重要的。其实这首歌过去在我们台湾被日本人占领之后，就对我们的祭典仪式都禁止了，所以从日据时代的时候就禁止我们在唱这首Pasibutbut的歌。那一直到基督教传到我们部落之后，后来我们那些耆老因为我们布农族也分居花东跟南投嘛，那我们的长老想要说把布农族的音乐带到花东去，所以他们也心里想说要复育这首歌，所以从那个时候就开始，大概在1950年60年的时候就开始复育Pasibutbut这首歌，然后除了教会的音乐之外，也把这个歌带到东部去。从那个时候就开始有复育的力量。那加上那个台湾的还有国外的民族音乐学者，他们来采集这样的歌的时候，让我们族人发现这首歌除了我们自己觉得很重要之外，原来国内外的音乐学者也很重视这样的歌曲。所以我们在这样的双重的鼓励之下跟使命，我们就开始更积极的富裕我们自己的布农族的音乐。所以协会在1999年成立之后，我们耆老在常常到国外表演之后，决定1999年就要成立这个协会，来正式来推动保存我们布农族的传统音乐。也让透过传承的过程里面，让这些歌让年轻人早一点来接触到重要的领唱的位置，所以族人就开始来富裕这样的计划。当然困难就是希望年轻人能够更多的年轻人来参与这样的传承的工作。
好，谢谢。
大概是目前这样的状况。
谢谢。Dan, you have some question to Sunny?
Yes, my question to Sunny will build off of my previous question and Chih-Lin's answer. And the question is that, like, well, we often think of culture preservation as work that happens within indigenous cultures themselves. That's sort of the popular imagining. But actually, for culture preservation to work, it requires the cooperation and the alignment of all sorts of institutions at the local, the national, and the international level, including events like this one, where you get to talk about and show these traditions to an international audience, and they become interested and invested in it. And I just want to know, can you talk a little bit more about this? How has performing in places, places both within Taiwan and outside of Taiwan, getting the support of the Taiwanese Ministry of Culture, which has given these traditions the status of intangible cultural heritage, how has that all been a part of preserving Bunun music and culture?
Sunny， 能不能麻烦您就这个问题来做一个回答？就基本上就是我们文化保存团体，您是由我们文化部定义为文化保存团体，然后你接受很多的像台湾国乐团、底特律美术馆，那各地方邀请，那您是怎么去保护就是做我们布农族文化的保存的
？OK， 好。其实我们部落最早期就是有接受国内外的一些艺文的演出去展演，但是我们并没有一个完整的一个组织。那有感于这些部落的耆老，也发现我们部落的耆老慢慢的离开，也有凋零的现象。所以呢，于是就组织了我们部落的这些有意要将文化保存的这些人，然后组织一个协会。那么这个协会呢，它不单单只是一个传承工作的一个场域，它还有教育，还有包含了学习、训练跟彼此分享的一个场域。所以更多的时候，大家都是用自愿的一种方式，就是每个礼拜六、礼拜天或者是礼拜一的晚上，大家集合在我们自己部落的社区活动中心来进行做一个传承的工作。那传承的工作内容呢，包含祭语的祭歌，我们既有的古调、童谣，以及我们布农族非常重要的这些传统乐器。那大家都是非常热心的在参与这样的工作。那么文化部确实也看到了我们的努力，在还没有被指定为无形文化重要保存团体，我们就已经在做这样的工作了。那当然也看到了我们的努力，那确实应该要将这样的文化保存下来，于是我们就被国家指定为无形文化重要保存团体。那么更加重了说实在更加重了我们的责任，就是每一个人都要担负这样的责任，去做一个传承工作者。这就是协会在保存文化工作上的一项努力。OK。
Dan, you have some question for Chih-Lin?
I will, and thank you so much for that, Sunny. And I'll ask a follow-up question and direct it to Chih-Lin. Because this kind of work of cultural preservation requires the cooperation of broader audiences, meaning, as we were just talking about, that means that these performance traditions will be performed to different audiences. That often involves sort of slight transformations in the tradition, or they're received differently by different audiences, and that's sort of part of the work. So can you tell us a bit about that? Has performing and the work of cultural preservation, has it changed the tradition in any way? Do you notice audiences responding differently to it depending on who they are and where they're from?
Chih-Lin 他想要了解说，你们当做这个文化保存的时候，常常会到不同的国家或各地方去演出。那您碰到的东西方各方面的他们的观众的反应是如何？麻烦你给我们做个解释。
OK， 当然我们成立了这个文化协会之后，不管是之前之后都有各方的邀约啦，尤其是成了有一个组织之后，那邀约更是不断。那我们发觉在亚洲或是在欧洲演出的时候，直接的反应我发觉欧洲跟美国的听众或是观众他们给我们的反馈是非常直接的如果像唱那个Pasibutbut在结束的时候，他们几乎是站起来 很用力的拍手，然后又给我们很大的掌声，我们都会在唱的结束的当下非常感动，说我们刚刚这么用力的唱，有非常大的回响。那当然在亚洲的话，他们也一样会嘴巴会张开很大的，但是没有帮我们像欧洲跟其他的地方就直接站起来拍手都掌声都不绝于耳，都没有停下来，这是很大的差别。但是当然都是很惊讶，感觉这首歌怎么这么特别。那当然我们虽然在唱古调，语言上不太相通，但是音乐的渗透力我发觉布农族的音乐的确做到了这个很特别的感染力。
Yeah, thank you. Now, I know it is so important to know that we as a Westerner, we always so appreciative of the beautiful music that we have in here. And so we will all stand up and try to give a praise and, call in a bravo, etc. So that, what I know Daniel has some questions for me earlier regarding they're describing for the intangible cultural heritage. And I would like to see if some of the, if you could see the map here, there are 16 tribes in Taiwan, and the little yellow in the mid sections of the central mountain area, that's where Bunongs primarily resides. That's where Chih-Lin and Sani reside as well. So now you learn about our Taiwans and the 16 tribes and etc. We are also really want to celebrate the indigenous peoples of the world as what we all cherish with. And Taiwan is really closely related to Polynesians cultures. And we all, believe that looking into the intangible cultural heritage, as we mentioned earlier, and Bunong music, particularly with a few polyphonic vocals, as well as many others, overtone singing, that has been recognized by the Bureau of Culture and Heritage as the intangible cultural heritage. And also being recognized by UNESCO, or it stands for United Nations of Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization as well. Yeah. Now, 我想问一下那个 Chih-Lin 跟 Sani，关于您觉得布农人的起源和历史，是不是可以跟我们分享一下？Tell us a little bit more about your origin and history of the Bunong people. Sunny, 你可以先说。
布农族，我先说他的传说好了，因为过去我们老人家曾经跟我们说，布农族人之前有发生一股就是大洪水，那所有的这些我们平常用的这些东西都淹没在海里面，那布农族人呢就一个一个爬到我们的玉山上面，那么当时呢就有了几座山是露出了小山头，这是一个布农族的洪水的传说。那布农族其实最早是在台湾的云林、彰化、竹山这一带，那么因为后来有外来的族群进来台湾之后，布农族人慢慢的就往中部这个方向，最后是在我们的南投拉蒙岸休息站那里，那是布农族人最后在平地的一个落脚的地方。之后呢，因为日本人也进来了，所以布农族人呢就一直就往高山上去逃，那最后就是在中央山脉。那么布农族呢，可以说是在台湾原住民来讲，就是延展性非常强的一个民族，从花莲、台东、高雄、南投这一带都有布农族人的一个足迹。那么现在都因为不同的地域关系，所以大家都各自发展出属于自己的地方文化。那布农族人是一个非常团结又是一个分享的民族。以上报告，谢谢。
Chih-Lin，你可不可以跟我们分享一下？Chih-Lin，
OK，其实布农族在台湾原住里面，它大概是人口排行第4，大概有6万多人了。那也是一个非常多禁忌的一个民族。当然，我们原住民，16族里面，有很多禁忌的民族蛮多的。当然，布农族也是其中一个。那我们现在分布的地方大概就是花莲啊，还有我们南投、中部，还有高雄啊、台东啊，就花东纵谷这个地方都看得到我们布农族的这个族人。那布农族族人对那个月亮呢是非常重视，所以连歌啊，就是月亮的阴晴圆缺啊，也象征着生活的记忆啊，所以就用月亮的盈亏来祭祀，也跟着农作有关系。所以像Pasibutbut他的这个唱的几圈啊、几次啊，过去是有严谨的限制，但是现在因为传承跟练习的关系年轻人的声音也比较雄壮，可能有的超过唱6次我们曾经唱到9圈唱了大概7到9分钟，所以非常的厉害。那当然我们在布农族人也喜欢打陀螺，也在让那个陀螺旋转的感觉是让小米能够快速成长那种意象所以连打陀螺都有跟生活有关系。所以布农族是一个非常充满想象力对于生活态度非常严谨的一个民族，大概是这样子。
Yeah, thank you for 谢谢 Thank you for sharing with us. It's always amazing to hear the Pasibutbut. Pasibutbut, many times I heard myself, and it's always what we always feel like this is a heaven's voice, and many times we feel like it's so ancient, but also super contemporary. So I'm using a word that Larry shared with me, so I want to share with everyone. 谢谢您Chih-Lin, Director Yang, I would like to want you to talk about your first impression of a Bunong tribe.
The first time I met Bunun people, they are really shy because they don't really talk much to you. They just, sometimes you think they might not talk it a lot. They are pretty shy. They first of all, they just sit around you and listen to your words quietly. They try to know your personality and try to know what you like and try to know, do you really know about our Bunun culture? So you need to spend time with them and share your feeling about their Bunun culture. Then they will start it to talk to you. But when they start talk to you, that will be the huge difference. You think they kind of, sometimes I was curious, they may have two souls in their mind.
Yes.
Because they are totally different two people. So when they talk to you, they really know you, to accept you. You will experience a lot. You will experience a lot of different things. Just like they will share their hunting stuff, hunting animal. When they get an animal, they will bring me, and they want me to eat it in the traditional way, like they didn't cook it, and they just put some sauce and then mix them, and you try it. Actually, I have to say in the beginning it was very horrible feeling, but after that every food they put in a traditional way, they have their own reason. Just
So we certainly would appreciate it. It's just like any human beings that we always wanted to be able to learn a person first or learn that culture first. And once you learn that, the folks are sincere with you, you tend to open up your mind. And I think that, it works for every nature of races and personality as well. So we can certainly appreciate your word on it.
You have to open your mind. You have to open your mind to accept that it has reason, and they are all good reason, but it just didn't exist in your life before.
Thank you. Sure. So Chih-Lin 我要问您一个问题哈，就是作为您是这个文化协会的总干事，您是否可以介绍一下我们布农传统文化的社会结构？As Bunun Chief and General Managers of Bunong Cultural Association, can you share with us about the social structure to Bunong culture traditions? 请说。
OK， 其实布农族大部分都是以那个氏族就是家族为一个单位，男女分工是非常清楚的。那大概家中的长老是负责做决策，因为布农族没有头目，他们就有领袖，大概都是长老就是在家族中来做一个决策，而且他的身份地位受到这个氏族里面的尊重那男生大部分就是负责狩猎跟制作这个生活的用具，那女人的话就是负责织布啦，还有务农等等他们的生活工具是非常分得非常清楚，比如说男人的猎具就是女人不能碰，那女人的织布的用具就是男人也不能碰，所以他们的分工是非常仔细的。而且布农族是一个农牧民族，等于说他们在家族这个地方耕作完之后，因为家族的繁衍跟耕地的不足会有一些迁徙的动作大概布农族的生活形态大概是这个样子。
Thank you， 谢谢。Sunny, as a music director, can you tell us about how Bunong music plays an important role in a different communal setting? 就是您作为布农族的常务理事，您是不是可以告诉我们布农音乐在不同的团体里面或是各种聚会里面发挥什么样的作用？那它又分成哪几类呢？谢谢。
好布农族是个非常特别的一个族群，因为我们没有舞蹈，我们也没有独唱，我们拥有的就是布农族大家一起来合唱。那在合唱的过程里面每一个人的声部都不太一样。那我们布农族的歌谣大概有分成3种，第一种就是记忆性的歌谣，那第二个就是生活性的歌谣，那么第3个就是童谣。那这些歌都是以合唱为主，那在不同的场域、不同的生活环境下，会自然而然会去吟唱这些歌。那童谣的部分它的歌词非常的简单，那可是它非常有趣，那它的吟唱的方式呢，也是以合唱为主。那像我们平常像工作播种婚宴苦闷这些都是属于生活性的歌谣。那么祭典的歌谣呢，它又包含了 Pasibutbut 祭枪歌，那还有就是凯旋歌还有这个报战功，这些歌谣都是我们的祭典非常重要的一些歌曲，是这样子。
谢谢。I would like to call the pre-hunting worship songs and for what Chih-Lin was saying, and then followed by a drinking song. If we could have that, to show our audience here.
Isaac, mo bukin ang pislahya to. Stika besul.
Wow, what amazing songs that we're listening to it. And I would like to also continue with another song, and like what Sunny was saying, the drinking songs. So that's all here to it here. Wow, that's amazing. And all these songs you're also going to be able to experience, in our during the festival from the 13th all the way to the 27th as a listen to Bunong. So hope you get a chance to watch that. I would like to see if Dan has some questions to Chih-Lin, or
I do, yeah. I mean, the music is beautiful, and the harmonies in particular are striking. And I just, very quick question, is this tradition passed down through written notation, or is it an oral tradition?
Chih-Lin 还有 Sunny 那个 Daniel 问的问题就是说，你们是不是这个音乐呢是经由乐谱来传承，还是有口说传承？
我们唱的每一首古调跟童谣，反正布农族的音乐啊，几乎都是口传心授。因为过去没有文字啊，所以几乎都是老人家唱什么，那个叫那个年轻人在旁边听，啊，我怎么唱就怎么唱，那就口传。那因为我们布农族是非常喜欢和声的民族，所以每一个人在唱。有的人会唱主旋律，有的人会唱高音，有会唱低音。那怎么唱就要靠你的耳朵去听。那如果你的声音适合高音，那老人家说你就唱高音。那高音要怎么去转？那就要看我们老人家怎么唱，你要去学。那可能你会自己发展出不一样的和音，所以高高低低没办法采谱。那有时候你今天唱的，你的心情是喜欢这样转。那下一次就不是这样转，所以采谱的话，可能就没办法忠实记录你每一次唱歌的方法，所以几乎都用口传。然后你自己心神体会之后，你可能在唱高音、唱低音都会有自己的变化。那除了Pasibutbut它有一个特别的规定之外，几乎所有的祭歌都是用即兴的方式去演唱。
Thank you， 谢谢 ，Thank you very much。Now, Chih-Lin, I have a question for you. Has your interest in Bunong music changed your perspective on life?
Yes, it did. Bunun music has a philosophy. It says there is no bad singing. All you need to do is find an appropriate position into singing. Just like your life, you can do everything wonderfully in your life, but you can do your part very well and put it into the group and make the group better. But I didn't really understand that in the beginning until one of my birthday was in the tribe. They sing a very usual song, Happy Birthday, and my Bunun friends, everyone just pick a pitch and sing them together. It reached a really great harmony. So that experience really shocked me. So I put that part in my feature film, Listen Before You Sing. So maybe we can share this part of movie to everyone so you can experience the same thing I had in the tribe.
祝你生日快乐，祝你生日快乐，祝你生日快乐，祝你生日快乐，祝你生日快乐，祝你生日快乐，祝你生日快乐，祝你生日快乐。
谢谢大家，生日快乐！
So about this part, I have one thing to mention about, because when I directed this scene, I asked all the actors and actresses sing it in Bunun's way. So I didn't give them any pitch. I didn't give any pitch. They just sing it spontaneously. So I shot this song about 7 takes. Every take are different. Every take is different, but I choose one of them and put them and edit it. So they sing it beautifully and without any rehearsal. So that's why I want to put it in the Bunun way, and then you can experience the Bunun music in your life. Yeah.
Birchok, Yang, I feel like I know it's not your birthday, but after that, I feel like I should wish you a happy birthday. But I'll do something else. I'll plug your movies, right? So over the next few weeks, as a part of the series of events, your films are going to be shown, including Listen Before You Sing, which is the film from which that clip that we just saw comes from, on my own campus at the University of Michigan-Flint in a week, and then Sing It and Sing It Plus in other locations over that time. And, you know, I just want to comment on how these films, sort of going back to what I was asking about earlier, are part of the work of cultural preservation. They're bringing these traditions to a broader audience. And can you say a bit more about that, about how these films do that, about how they bring these Bunun traditions to broader audiences?
Okay. All these films are all about the loss of Bunun's language, make the Bunun traditional culture losing, fade away. So because the mainstream society that they doesn't need Bunun language, so that it doesn't encourage young Bunun people to learn their own language, and in other way they make them lose their confidence to face the competing in the mainstream society. So when they work or study, when they leave their tribe and learn and work in the main society, they lose their confidence to face their future life. So that's for now, it's the weak point of Bunun's kids, because without confidence, you can make your potential, your potential won't transfer to possibility. So that's the big issue in the Bunun's culture preservation. So in these 3 films, everybody can see these issues, and you can know, such like Chih-Lin and Sunny, they're working really hard to keep their traditional culture can live on in the future. That's all these 3 films are all about.
Cool. And, you know, I want to ask a follow-up question too. And I'll say one of the things that I appreciate about your work, and I'm saying this as a cultural anthropologist, is just how much time you've spent on it, working with Bunun people's 2 documentaries and then the feature film. And, you know, cultural anthropologists, we really spend a lot of time with the people who we work with, right? That's part of what we do. We think that's really important. So I appreciate that. And I'm wondering if you can speak a little bit to that, how, you know, working, you know, presumably someone could have put together a feature-length film like yours without doing the 2 documentaries before that, without spending all of that time. And I want to hear how putting that work in before the feature-length film sort of informed what you did and informed your work.
Okay. It was really a long time. It's about 7 years I work on these 2 documentaries, Sing and Sing Plus. And my feature film is based on the conclusion I organized from these 2 documentaries. So the first 2 documentaries, you can see the difficulty and they're working hard to keep their traditional culture to live on. I have to say that during this 2 documentaries making, I realized I'm also a person without confidence. So when I try to create my feature film, I didn't put me in the Bunun's position, and I'm also not putting. I did not putting me in a hard decision because I think looking for confidence is everybody's issue in their life. So this feature film is it's like outcome to describe how did I find my confidence through these two documentaries. So actually, I didn't do it because I'm a great man. I didn't do it because I'm a great guy because this these materials obviously is not a blockbuster movie. It's like a really small group care about. But I want to share that because if I can, or if these people can live in such a poor condition and they still keep their optimistic way to face their future, and you can find your confidence in a really bad condition. So that may inspire you to find your confidence in your future life. So that's all about my movie. It's really a personal thing. So try to put it in the, try to put it in the everybody can. I try to put it in a way that everybody can understand it, and try to find your own way to receive your personal your personal confidence. Yeah.
Thank you, Director Yang. It's amazing film. I actually watched it myself, and I actually cried twice. So many times. So that's have check it out and listen before you sing, so that see on yourself here.
排球队记啊，开始小便啊！小便还要我教你们呢。
可以笑，因为我们办学上没有特色。
那我有个建议，我们学校有这么多的小阿妹，小校长可能让个合唱团去参加比赛，拿到冠军，马上就是我们的特色了嘛。
我是可以负责伴奏的部分，那指挥要怎么办？
大步走，1、2，预备，唱。怎么去拥有一道彩虹？很好。怎么去拥抱一夏天的风？立定。1、2。
教练，你真的是合唱团的指挥吗？
不行吗？
你连五线谱都看不懂，你要怎么带小朋友啊？说真的，我觉得3个月的时间，他们不太知道。
这个我知道，我不知道我做的会怎么样，可是我已经很清楚知道，如果我不做的话会怎么样。
当一阵风吹了，风筝飞上天，为了你而祈祷，而祝福，而感动，终于你身影消失在。
教练，我们不要唱了，我们的声音又跟他们不一样。
为什么不一样就是错的？
布农族唱歌音或许会不准，但是会有一起不准的好听。
3个月前，你们可以想象他们现在的声音吗？我觉得很有机会。
All right, so you can see this film during the festival. Actually, it's a special. It is called a special premiere, but actually, it's a really premiere in the United States. So I'll be honored that you choose my film to share with everyone in the Michigan. Thank you.
Hey, it looks like we lost Teresa. So I'm just going to take over briefly. Hopefully we get her back. But the next question that we all were supposed to address was a question about, why is the world a better place with these traditions in it? And I'll quickly give an answer, and then I'll turn it over to Chih-Lin and Sunny, in part because they should have the last word here. And my answer will be twofold, right? I think that any traditions like this, really any sort of performance or cultural tradition is important because it gives us different ways to think about what it means to be human, right? And in this case, the we here is that human we, right? The more ways of being human there are in the world, the kind of better equipped we are to be empathetic, to approach challenges collectively. So that's one answer. And then the other answer is an answer about, and I brought this up earlier, self-determination. Ultimately, it's up to the Bunun people if these are traditions that they want to preserve, and if they are, then that becomes again an act of self-determination that needs to that is important. So I see Teresa is coming back. So Teresa, if you're there, I kind of took over for a minute, but you can now turn things over to Chih-Lin and Sunny, and if you're not there, then Chih-Lin and Sunny, please, I don't know, maybe Dr. Yang can translate. Because I can't.
他就是Chih-Lin Sunny 他们想要知道就是说保存布农的文化你觉得对你们而言是有什么样意义？然后也许从一个比较宏观的角度来讲，保存这个文化对这个世界有什么样的意义？
布农族的音乐是非常特别的。当然，就是说，我们如果不保存这样特别的声音这个世界就会少了这个声音啊。而且在我们个人来讲，在台湾16个民族里面，它也算是一个非常特别的一个声音，而且它是非常注重和谐跟团结的一个强调这样的族人的声音。那我们把这样的声音推展到全世界，让这样和谐团结的巴西布布的声音，而且和声这么特别，可以用声音的力量分享给全世界的人。那我们何不将自己会的这样特殊的声音好好的保存，让我们的下一代也学习，让这样和谐跟特殊的声音一代传给一代。我觉得我们做无形文化保存就是非常重要的使命，因为如果我们不唱，这个声音就会在世界消失了。
Okay, they say this world cannot afford to lose a unique and beautiful voice, because a beautiful and unique voice can put this word, they can stand together because they try to understand each other. This in Bunun's culture, they really focus on harmony and stand together. So they want to use the power of their singing to share to the world that we should respect to each other and share with each other and stand together to face every difficulty in the future of our life. So they really want to keep their Bunun singing and their Bunun culture to the next generation and the next the generation after. I put it as sorry. Let me rephrase it. They want to teach it and want their traditional culture last forever, because sharing and stand together and being in harmony is really important for our world. Okay, that's it.
Wow, that's a test drive, and I thought I could take a little nap before I come back. And Dan and Director Yang just handled it beautifully. So we should try this again.
No, I just.
And thank you for Dan and Chih-Lin and Sunny share with us about your view of it, and we really do appreciate it very much. And as some of you are probably not aware of it, we are actually will be looking into giving 2 Bunong music instruments to Detroit Institute of Arts for demonstrations, and wonder if we could show some slides of these 2 music instruments that we will be giving to DIA. And we would definitely like to. So this is the first one. It's the ball harp looking, very beautiful. And there's another one is for the Joe harp, and it's beautiful as well. So those will be given to the Detroit Institute of Arts. And with these, I would like to invite everyone to join and attend our music, listen to Bunongs, particularly also the films, listen before you scenes, as well as we have lectures, and Professor Wu on the for the Pasibutbut itself is a very in-depth conversations, as well as the musical instruments of Bunongs with the Professor Joseph Gasho he's also a director of Stern's collection at the University of Michigan here. So with that, I would like to have an opportunity to thank every one of you who stayed this long with us. And we have a couple of films, videos that we'd like to show you. So stay tuned, and goodbye, and thank you for joining us tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
Papa,